Week 11 starts tomorrow, so here are my picks for the biggest games of Week 11. Starting off, we got A&M, undefeated, number 3 ranked team in the country, going into Columbia to play Mizzou. 6-2 on the season. The 3-point loss to Alabama and a 7-point loss to Vanderbilt. This Mizzou team is looking really good. This A&M team is rolling right now. Mizzou rolling with true freshman Matt Zollers after Bo Pribila's injury. Mizzou will be leaning on running back Ahmed Hardy, and he is a bad man. But A&M will be leaning on Marcel Reed and this Aggie offense, which has looked really good this season. I expect a very close game, but I'm going A&M. At the same time slot, we got Oregon going into Kinnick to play Iowa. Pretty tough environment for the Ducks. Iowa, who has 2 losses on the year, lost to rival Iowa State and had a 5-point loss to Indiana, the number 2 team in the country. Oregon, who has a 10-point loss to that same Indiana team, and that was their biggest test of the season. This should be an incredibly close game. Taking Oregon, but I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa pulls off this upset. Also in that same time slot, just a little bit later, we got Auburn going into Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt had a loss last week against Texas. Really nothing to play for the rest of the season. Auburn, 4-5 on the year, just fired their head coach. How are they going to look with a new interim head coach? The question marks on this game. How's Auburn going to look? How's Vanderbilt going to look now that they have nothing to play for the rest of the season? What we do know, though, is that Diego Pavia has looked good and poised. Give me Vanderbilt. In the evening time slot, we got LSU going into Bryant-Denny to take on Alabama in the battle for Nick Saban. LSU, who has not looked great. They have not lived up to expectations this year, but they did fire Brian Kelly just 2 weeks ago after that A&M loss. And because they haven't played a game with their new interim head coach, Alabama does not have film on what his system and what he is going to look like. That is always tough to match up against, but Alabama had a bye week after a pretty grueling schedule. They've gotten a little bit healthier since their last game. We've seen this Alabama team struggle against South Carolina. They struggled against Mizzou. They lost to Florida State. There are some cracks in this Alabama team, but there's too many question marks for this LSU team to take them. Give me Alabama. And then going back to the first time slot, we got undefeated BYU going into 8-1 Texas Tech. Texas Tech has steamrolled everybody except for their one loss, which they had their backup quarterback playing in. BYU, meanwhile, survive and advance. They are taking it week by week. They have a couple of close wins against some not-so-great teams, but they're getting the job done. They're Bachmeier and the Cougars going and taking on Baron Morton and the Red Raiders. This will be a huge game for the Big 12 standings, and I think this is a preview of the Big 12 championship. Give me Texas Tech. Texas Tech has looked way too good in every game except that one loss without Morton to pick against them. Expect these two teams to see each other at the end of the season in a Big 12 championship game. Here are my picks for Week 11. Let me know in the comments who I missed on. And if I missed a matchup that you want to see, throw it in the comments. I'll make another video with that matchup.